into the next program now. We have a wonderful, entertaining treat for you tonight. Vishal Gaud and Chris Guru have created a comedy skit about various jobs people can do.
They are really funny. But just in case they're not, please laugh anyway, okay? Vishal is 12 years old and is part of the National Junior Honor Society. He has some exciting news to share with us tonight. You see, his team won the basketball championship after a long time.
Chris Guru is so cool. I've known him for all my life here in VSNY. He's often on the stage, participating in various events and encouraging others to do so. We will miss him next year when he goes off to college. But anyways, let's give a big round of applause to Vishal and Chris for their comedy skit. Woo!
Wait, he needs a mic.
Hi, Chris. You're a senior in high school, right?
Yes, no more studying for the SAT.
What do you want to do in college? What do you want to become?
Well, I really want to drop out of college and, just play Xbox all day. But my mom right here would go insane.
Well, why don't you become a doctor? They make a lot of money.
Huh? Put the mic closer.
Well, why don't you become a doctor? They make a lot of money.
Kid, being a doctor is no fun. Let me show you. I'll be the doctor and you be the patient.
Okay.
All right, I am Dr. Guru, and I have some bad news and some really bad news for you.
Bad news? Well, you might as well start with the bad news first.
Well, the lab called yesterday, and they said you only have 24 hours to live.
What? 24 hours? That's terrible. What's the really bad news?
The really bad news is that I've been trying to reach you since 2 days ago.
Have you thought of becoming an engineer student?
Mental hospital.
Have you thought of becoming...
Mental hospital. How do you admit a mental patient? Deccan Herald.
A Deccan Herald reporter asked, How do you determine whether to admit a mental patient into your hospital or not?
Well, first we fill up a bathtub, and then we give them a teaspoon, a bucket, and a glass, and we ask them to empty the bathtub.
Well, obviously the normal person would use a bucket because it's way bigger.
No, a normal person would pull the drain, okay? Please go to bed number 39. We'll start testing on you.
Oh no. Have you thought of becoming an engineering student? Did you hear about the 3 engineering students that were wondering who could have designed a human body?
Yeah, the first engineer said it had to be a mechanical engineer. Look at all these joints.
The other engineer said it had to be an electrical engineer. The central nervous system is made up of a miracle of millions of electrical connections.
Well, the third engineer said it had to be a civil engineer. No other engineer would run a toxic waste pipeline right through the residential area. Most of them are already filled with too many of Jyoti Auntie's jamuns. All right, so before you tell me to become a lawyer, do you know the difference between a good lawyer and a bad lawyer?
Yes, of course. A bad lawyer lets a case drag along for several years. On the other hand, a good lawyer lets a case drag along for even longer.
Have you heard of the new microwave lawyer?
I've heard. You spend 8 minutes in his office and get charges if you're there for 8 hours.
Okay, and being an accountant is no fun either, right? I heard of this one accountant who told his doctor, "Doctor, I just can't sleep at night."
The doctor says, "Have you tried counting sheep?"
The accountant said, "Yeah, I have tried counting sheep, but I just lose count, and every time I do, I have to redo my inventory and accounting."
What happens to an astronaut when he gets dirty?
He takes a meteor shower.
What happens to an astronaut when he misbehaves?
He gets grounded. Okay, so a businessman walked into a New York City bank and he asked for a loan of $5,000. But the banker said, "I need some down payment on this, so you're gonna have to either give a down payment or some interest."
The businessman then hands over keys to a Mercedes-Benz parked in the front of the building.
2 weeks later, he brought the keys back to the banker and said, "This is great. Where else in New York City can I park my car for only $15? Okay.
A computer salesman told the customer, "This new computer will lower your workload by up to 50%.
Wait, say it louder.
A computer salesman told the customer.
Wait, put it closer.
A computer salesman told the customer, "This new computer will lower your workload by up to 50%.
50%? Lowering my workload? That's great. I'll take 2 of them. Okay. So a car was involved in an accident, and as expected, a large crowd gathered.
A news reporter was anxious to get his story. Being a clever story, he started yelling, "Let me through! Let me through! I'm the son of the victim."
And as he said, "I was the son of the victim," the crowd made way, and lying in front of the car was a donkey.
Why do barbers make good drivers?
They know all the shortcuts. You know what? None of these jobs are any good. I think I'll just stick to dropping out of college and playing FIFA and Xbox all day.
That sounds good. Just don't tell your parents.
Okay. Go.
Thanks everyone for laughing at our jokes.
Guys, thank
good
you
job.
for the jokes.